Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of K. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Boiling Point. Uh, so happy Thanksgiving for all those who celebrated it just a couple days ago. Um, to keep with the theme of food, I have decided that this weekend we are doing a couple movies that aren't donation rewards, but are just, on theme, on point for the holiday. And even if you don't celebrate American Thanksgiving because you're not in America or whatnot, um, then you could just enjoy the movies for what they are, fun food based movies. And so today we are doing Boiling Point. So all I know about this movie is that it's like a chef movie. It's one of those movies that focuses on the kitchen of a restaurant or whatnot, and that's about all I know. I don't know who's in this. I don't know what it's exactly about. I believe it's an independent film though, and it came out like last year. Um, so yeah, I'm going in almost completely blind. I was just looking up food movies basically, and this one was what was one of the ones that was shown that I haven't heard of, so I decided to go with it. Um, it's really that simple. It's really that random, I guess. I wanted to keep to the theme. The other movie we're doing tomorrow for you guys, um, that movie was more chosen in advance. This one, I just needed basically an accompaniment movie to go with the other one. That was again also food themed for the specific holiday weekend. Um, so yeah, I don't know what to expect with this. I don't know what this movie is going to feature. I don't know. I don't even know what it's rated. Like I've seen culinary based movies that are all over the board in terms of ratings. So yeah, I don't know what to expect. But we're gonna find out. So we're just gonna get into this and hope for the best. Nothing to it but to do it, right? So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the reaction, or to the movie specifically. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I was looking stuff up in between, as I tend to do, and I found out one of the actresses who played Carly, the sous chef, is Vinette Robinson. And she's actually been in a couple things I actively would know her for. Like, she's been in some other stuff that I've seen, like Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, but she was like this small character in that. But she's been in various things here that I actively would know her for. One of which is Black Mirror. She was in the episode Hated in the Nation. And it's like, okay. She was also in 4 episodes of the Sherlock series. I think I only saw 1 or 2 episodes of that. I'm not 100% if I've seen any of the ones that she was in. So I'm not sure on that one. But the one I would definitely know her for is she was in Doctor Who. And specifically, my favorite episode of the most recent run. Um, the Chibnall run, I guess you could say. Um, she was Rosa Parks in the episode Rosa, with starring alongside Jodie Whittaker as the doctor in that one. Um, that is the episode of Jodie Whittaker's run as the doctor that made me just absolutely bawl. Like, it made me cry really hard. And it's like she was the main reason for that. And it's I didn't even recognize her in this. Because obviously the like makeup and costume work and everything was a lot different. But it's like, that's insane. And apparently she was also in an episode called 42, um, from 2007. This is the David Tennant run when Martha Jones was in there. Um, oh yeah, I know which episode this is. Yeah. Okay. I would have to see that again to like remember who her character is and everything, but I definitely remember that episode. But I definitely know her more for the Rosa Parks episode. Um, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't recognize I didn't recognize her. Also, I found out that there's apparently a 4 episode miniseries that is a sequel to this movie. Um, it was released this year, actually. Just semi recently, like it says October. Yeah, October of this year, and it's a follow up to this film. Um, and I've got to watch it now because I think it was pretty clear that I was super invested in this story, like really, really quickly. Um, if you know me at all, if you've seen certain reactions I've made in the past, it's like you know that I'm really into kitchen related stuff, culinary related stuff, that kind of thing. Um, I, I've watched Food Network for a good portion of my life. Different things like that, Iron Chef America, and all of that. I love different cuisines around the world, and I've taken culinary classes, as I mentioned in the reaction and everything. Like I said, I took like 3 or 4 classes during high school, and I never pursued it after that, but I did learn some stuff, believe it or not, even if I don't remember everything. Um, and it's just one of those topics that I've always really liked. So this movie was always going to interest me, being about this kind of topic. But a big part of any movie, even if it's a topic that I typically would like, it has to be the execution. Like, even if it's something I typically enjoy, is it executed well enough to keep my attention, to keep me invested, to keep me entertained and like just hooked in all the way through? And this definitely did. This was a single shot film, like there were no cuts or anything, which is amazing. It's so cool that that was the case. Apparently, according to this, um, this was originally planned to record 8 takes of the film, but it was only possible to film half of these before COVID-19 lockdown led to the end of the shoot. So apparently they only recorded 4 takes of the film. And it just 4 full takes, and I guess they just used the one that was best. But that's amazing that it was done that way. It just, it's wild to see a full movie recorded like that. Apparently, this premiered at the 55th Karlovy Vary International Film Festival in August of 2021, but it got its actual full release in 2022. And the movie has been met with critical acclaim and has a 99% for 67 critics on Rotten Tomatoes. As always, take it with a grain of salt, but honestly, fucking deserved. Like, this movie is basically a dysfunctional kitchen at a high-end restaurant led by a chef who is not right in the head. And not because he's a bad person or anything, but he's addicted to drugs, he's addicted to alcohol, he's scatterbrained. It does not handle his staff super well. He's not in the best place in his life. And shit's just not okay. Honestly, he needs help. This is the kind of person, it's like, you don't demonize. He needs help. And at the end there, when he's talking to his, like, ex on the phone, he's like, he's promising to get help and everything. He with everything that happened in the service and everything that went down, it's like he understands that he's at fault here. And he very much was. And again, not out of any malicious intent, but he was just not all there, if we're being honest. There was a lot of other issues that came about in the service as well. We saw that multiple people there were having issues. Like Carly and the head of the wait staff, they were like, they had that big blow up at each other. And then, like, there's the one kid who was cutting himself. The pregnant girl who was sick of the other guy being lazy and late all the time and everything. It's like all of this shit was going down. The poor French girl who's just trying to do her best, and she's like just not understanding the language barriers that well. The one dude who's on a station he's not supposed to be on, but is like trying his best. I think the only one who wasn't having any problems was Taz Skylar's character. He was the bartender, and he was fine. There was no real issues on his end. You had the one waitress who was being racially berated by that one table. You had so much shit going on. You had the celebrity chef that Andy used to work for, trying to get him to take the fall. Or not, trying to get him to make Carly take the fall. Because Andy owed him money that he borrowed in the past. And he wanted to get in on this and like take 70% of the restaurant's earnings and stuff. And he was like telling Andy, it's like 30% of a lot is still a lot. And it's like, dude. And the allergy thing, like when that went, like the instant that was brought up, I knew that was going to come up. I knew that was going to be a thing. With the way this kitchen staff was like not going well, I knew that was going to end up being a thing. But I also could tell that it wasn't going to be on purpose or anything. It was just going to be an accident. And it was Andy. You saw how the poor girl was like just absolutely broken up about what happened because she was so worried like it was her fault. And especially when she realized what she had put on there, But it was Andy, and he took the blame for that. He acknowledged it was him, that it wasn't her. He refused to place the blame on Carly. He even told her that the dude wanted him to do that. There was also the issue with the influencers wanting the steaks and the wait staff leader making it happen for them, even though, you know, they weren't preparing steaks for that night of service. It's just like all of this shit going down was just a recipe for disaster. And in the end, even though Andy was promising his ex to do better and everything, and he threw the alcohol and the drugs away, he had already snorted it. He had already drank it. It was already past that point. He was already a mess. He was excessively stressed. And that entire combination of things is probably what led to him to pass out there, to just drop on his way back. And I'm kind of curious where the follow-up to this is going to go. Because it's like, is he going to enter rehab? What's going to happen with Carly? She was saying she was going to quit. What's going to happen with everyone else? I don't know. I genuinely don't. But I am very interested to find out. We will definitely be reacting to that at some point. I don't know if the series is shot the same way, with the one-shot style or not, but I'm very interested to check it out. This movie was phenomenal. The acting was so fucking good from literally everyone. Not a single actor did bad in this. Whether the kitchen staff, the customers, everyone nailed it. The sound design was amazing. The camera work, obviously phenomenal. The writing was great. The directing, everything was so perfectly handled. This is up there, honestly, for me. Like genuinely up there in terms of movies I've seen. Not just from this year, even. I have to think about it some more. I have to maybe watch a review or two, or just really let this sit for a bit before I can really figure out placements and everything. But this is up there for me. And I'm very, very, very interested in the series now, especially if it's going to be to this level of quality. 4 episodes, maybe an hour each, probably an hour each. I definitely want to do that in the future. But this was really good. It deserves the ratings it got. I'm not gonna look through a bunch of reviews and everything, but by God, I was just so invested in this story. I was just so even if there were a couple portions where I was not talking much or just didn't seem super into it, that's just my face. I'm not always the most emotive person. I apologize if it seemed like I was bored or anything, because I definitely wasn't. There was not a single part of this where I was bored. I was so into this the entire time. And like I said during the reaction, now there's 3 actors from the live action One Piece that I've seen in other things. Like I said, I've seen Nami's voice actor, Emily Rudd, in the Fear Street movies. I saw Iñaki Godoy. I'm watching Imperfects currently, and now I've seen Taz Skylar Sanji in this one. And technically, like Jeff Ward, who played Buggy, like I've seen a little bit of Agents of Shield, but I never got to the point where he was in it. I never met his character, so I've technically seen some of the series, but I've never seen him in the series until after the fact, when I looked up a couple clips here and there. But yeah, like no one else. I haven't seen anything else from that, and so being surprised with Taz Skylar in this is like that is a very pleasant surprise. I did not expect that at all. And again, he had a minor role and everything, but still. I know maybe I'll check out some stuff from other actors too at some point. I know McKenna did a movie for Knights of the Zodiac, Saint Seiya. Maybe I'll check that out. Even though I've never seen anything with Saint Seiya, like I've never seen any Saint Seiya anime or whatever. But maybe I'll check that out just to see something else from McKenna. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, for this movie, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, this is up there for me. And again, part of it might be recency bias, and that's why I'm saying I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to, like the wine, let it breathe. I'm going to just take some time to think about it, to process my thoughts, and we'll figure it out. But we will figure it out. And I'll figure out like where I would place it amongst movies I've seen this year and everything. We'll go from there. So yeah. Tell me your thoughts down in the comments below. And like I said, if you're in America and celebrated Thanksgiving this past week, I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. If you are not, I hope you've had a good week, and I hope you have great holidays coming up no matter what you celebrate. So for the time being, though, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.